Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to our Bhagavad Gita class. The objective of this class is to enable reading of the shlok, to understand the basic meaning of the shlok, and to help understand the basic philosophy of Gita. We are on chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga or devotional service. This chapter has 4 sections. The first shlok consists of one section where Arjun inquires, who is better, a personalist or a impersonalist? And from 2 to 7, it is Krishna replies to this question, a personalist versus impersonalist, which we covered in the last class. Today we will start from 8, shlok number 8 onwards. It is progressive stage of bhakti. This is the third section, followed by the last section of this class. This chapter will be qualities that endear one to Lord Krishna, along with the glories of chapter 12 from Padma Puran. So I'll just summarize the last class that we have done in the last. So the whole thing, the chapter started with Arjun inquiring who is better, a personalist or an impersonalist. Who is a personalist? Those devotees who worship Krishna in the form of Krishna. They are called personalists. And who are impersonalists? It is those who worship the Brahma Jyoti. Those who worship the Brahma Jyoti, impersonal Brahma. They are called impersonalist. So Arjun, and they are basically, those are Gyanis who worship the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence of the Lord. So Arjun inquires that which is better, who are better, who is a better yogi? Those who worship Krishna in the form of Krishna, or those who worship the impersonal Brahma. So Krishna replies in the second shlok. He says that my pure devotees, those who are my Ananya Bhakta means one pointed attention towards Krishna. They are the most perfect yogis. Those who are my pure, that is Ananya Bhakta, undivided attention, who just pray to me, they are my best. So he replies that. Then in the third and fourth shlok, he explains the qualities of impersonal Brahm. Then he understands the process that is followed by the people who worship the impersonal Brahm, and then he talks about the destination of the people who worship impersonal Brahm. So he describes 8 qualities of the impersonal Brahm. When Arjun questioned Krishna, he mentioned only 2 qualities. He said those who worship Aksharam and Avyaktam. Aksharam and Avyaktam. Akshara means those who are beyond that which is beyond the senses, and Avyaktam means that cannot be manifested. It is a effulgence. It is not manifested in a form. So he had asked only 2. He has given only 2 qualities. So Krishna add 6 more qualities to the impersonal Brahm. It says not only that it is beyond the senses, it is Aksharam, it is also Anidesham. Anidesham, it is indefinite, and it is Avyaktam, it is unmanifested. Then he says Sarvatragam. Sarvatragam means it is all pervading. You can see it always. It is Achintya. Achintya means it is inconceivable. It cannot be conceived. Then he said it is Kutastha. Kutastha means it is unchanging. And then it says Achalam. Achalam means which is not movable. It is immovable. And then said Dhruvam. Dhruvam means which is fixed. So he gave 8 characteristics of the impersonal Brahm. So he tells that, and then he also talks about the people, what is the process that they follow in worshipping that. They says Sanyam Indriya Gramam. He says they control the senses. What do? They control all their senses. Unlike devotees, what the devotees do? They engage their senses to Krishna. But what the people who worship the impersonal Brahm, they try to control all their senses. Yeah, that's what they do. And then they are sambuddhaya, means they are equal in equal in both in happiness and distress. So there's some buddhya. And sarvabhuta hita. Sarvabhuta is all. Hita is good for all. Rata, they're engaged in the doing good for all. So these are the process that they follow. And what is their final destination? They also attain me. Finally, they also will attain me. So the question is, a devotee directly attains Krishna, but the impersonal Brahm will also attain Krishna finally, because they worship the impersonal Brahm. Impersonal Brahm is nothing but the effulgence of the Krishna. As we have studied earlier, that the absolute truth is in three forms. Which is the three form? It is Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwan. They are, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, he is in three forms. And then we talked about the when you are in a flight, you are in a plane, and when you are coming down, then you see a mountain. If you are seeing a mountain far away, you only see the green color of the mountain. That is like the when you don't know, you don't have a realization of the Bhagwan, then you are actually moving towards, you only see the green mountain, right? So that is the effulgence of the God, and you think that is the final destination. But then if you try to move forward, well, then after the green mountain, you see some huts, some trees there. That is Paramatma, that is the super soul sitting in our heart. And when you get more close, then what will happen? You start seeing people in the form, and that is Bhagwan. So these are the three forms of absolute truth. These are the three forms. And then what happens is, so he says but then what happens? He says in the next slok that the path that is very, very troublesome, they will take many births. It says bahunam janmanamante. Bahunam is many. Janmanamante. Janma is birth. Ante is end. At the end of many birth. Bahunam janmanamante. Gyanvan mam prapadyante. Those who are jnanis, those who worship the impersonal Brahm, what they'll do? Mam is to Krishna. Prapadyante is they'll surrender to Krishna. When? After many births. Because after that time they will realize Vasudevam Sarvamiti. They will then realize that Krishna is everything. And some Mahatma Sudurlabha, and that those Mahatmas are very, very rare. So it will take long, many years to actually realize that. And when they realize, then they'll surrender and then they will attain me. So it's a long process. And so what happens then? Krishna says in the fifth slok that their path is extremely troublesome. Why it is troublesome? Because they worship the impersonal Brahm, which is an effulgence, and because we are having our body, we are having form, so it is very easy for us to relate to something which has a form. We can engage with them, but something imagining which is unvyakt, we can't see it, which is imagining that and always focusing to that is very, very difficult. So you can actually get disconnected, and that is why they take longer journey to achieve that. And then in the last 6th and 7th slok, Krishna says that the path of bhakti is very simple and easy. And what happened? Krishna says, Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasa matpara anyanyena yogena mam dhyayetu pasate. He said, Ye tu sarvani karmani. Those who, sarvani karmani means all their activities, mai sanyasa matpara. They give up all their activities for me, and they have the with ananya yenava yogena, and with undivided attention, when they pray to me, what will happen? Tesha aham, to those people who worship me like that, tesham aham, to all of them I samudharta, what I'll do? I will deliver, swiftly deliver mrityu sansar sagarat, from the ocean of birth and death. I will myself deliver. Bhavami na chitapat, not delay, I will not delay it. I will swiftly deliver them from the ocean of birth and death, those who with one pointed attention worship me. That is the last slok we had finished, right? So today we'll start with the next slok, which is slok number 8 onwards. This 4th slok, which is 8, 9, 10, 11, it's called progressive stage of bhakti. It is the progressive stage of bhakti. So let's see the shlok number 8. Mayeva man adhatsva.
Mayeva man adhatsva.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Nivsishyasi mayeva.
Nivshishyasi mayeva.
At urdhavam na sanshayah.
At urdhavam na samsayah.
Mayeva man adhatsva.
Mayeva man adhatsva.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Nivsishyasi mayeva.
Nivsishyasi mayeva.
At urdhvam na sanshaya.
At urdhvam na samsayah.
Yeah, Mataji.
Repeat that.
8.
Mayeva mana adhatsva.
Mayeva man adhatsva.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Nivsishyasi mayeva.
Nivsishyasi mayeva.
At urdhvam na samsayah.
At urdhvam na sanshaya. Okay? Now Krishna says, Mayeva. Mayeva means on me. Eva is he. Man is mind. Aditsva is fixed. Mayeva man aditsva means for those whose mind is completely fixed on me. My buddhim niveshaya. Not only mind, but also buddhi. Buddhi is intelligence. My buddhi niveshaya. And those who have also fixed their buddhi, intelligence on me. Niv sishyasi mayeva. What will happen? Niv sishyasi means they live with me. They will live with me. Mayeva. At urdhvam, always. Na sanshaya. Sanshaya is doubt. No doubt. O Arjun, Krishna is telling to Arjun, those who has fixed their mind upon me completely and also their intelligence upon me, they will always live with me. There is no doubt about it. Right? So let's read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Just fix your mind upon me.
Just fix your mind upon me.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead.
And engage all your intelligence in me.
And engage all your intelligence in me.
Thus you will live in me.
Thus you will live in me.
Always.
Always.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Right? So now, what is the function of mind? What does mind do? Mind thinks. Mind thinks, and it is the mind who keeps on desiring. It is the mind who keeps on always desiring something or other. It needs, right? And what is the function of buddhi? Thought. Yeah, buddhi. Buddhi is the one which gives decisions. Buddhi is always intelligence. So that helps us to take the decision, to discriminate between right and wrong. Yeah. So that is the work of a buddhi, right? So the work of the man is, the function of the man is to think. So Krishna says, you are thinking about me, all your desires are towards me. And your intelligence, the decision that is there, those who have taken the decision that, what is the decision? That Krishna is my only goal is to achieve Krishna. What is the decision? That my only goal is to achieve Krishna. One pointed attention towards Krishna. That is my thing. And their all desires are pointed towards Krishna. Right? And then if someone is in that situation, then what will happen? They will live with Krishna and there's no doubt about that.
Krishna always in our heart.
So Krishna is always there with them, right? You got it? Now, think about it. When is this possible? When is this possible? When is such a consciousness? When can your consciousness, what is consciousness? Your thoughts and your intelligence. When is that consciousness possible? It is only when can your consciousness can always think about Krishna, can always talk about Krishna. Only when you are emotionally connected to Krishna. It cannot happen that so it is, and emotions come from mind, right? So it is when you are emotionally connected to Krishna, then only it is possible that you can always be thinking about Krishna. Right? If you are very logical, very, very logical person, then you will, it is Gyanis. They are intelligentsia class. They don't believe in emotions. They always talk about to me only about facts. They don't have emotions. and I'll not say they don't have, but it is so. But then what happens? Only when you have you are you are you are emotionally connected to Krishna, then only can you always think about Krishna, right? Or anyone, right? If you are emotionally connected to someone, then only you will start think about it. If you're not emotionally connected, you will not even think about that person, right? Think about your child. For a mother, their kids, they're always thinking about the kids, right? They are always in their thought because they are so much emotionally connected to them. Now, so who is, when you say this thing, emotionally connected, what comes to your mind? It is who could be this? The gopis of Vrindavan. Someone who is like the gopis of Vrindavan. The gopis of Vrindavan were so attached to Krishna that whatever they are doing, whether they are sweeping their house, whether they are washing clothes, whether they are cooking, whether they are doing any activity, their hands, their external senses could be doing anything, but their mind was always on Krishna. Their mind was always towards Krishna. No one else. So that is why they are the highest devotee. That is, so this slok represents the highest form of devotee. Right? So now, why Krishna has said, Mayeva man aditsva. He has put man first and then buddhi later. Buddhi later. Because it is very, very difficult to control your mind. Very, very difficult to control your mind. If you are doing some work, maybe your hands and your eyes are doing that work, but your mind will be doing something else. Right? It's not you're chanting. What is happening? Your mind is somewhere else. Right? So it is very, very difficult to bring back the mind, control the mind, and focus only towards Krishna. Yes. Even 5-10 minutes, if we can do that, that is great. But think about the gopis of Vrindavan. They were always and always and always thinking, talking, dancing, everything for Krishna. Their life was around the Krishna. And again, as I told the story in the last class about, when Krishna was doing Dwarika and he had a headache, and he said this headache can only be cured by the what do you call it, by the dhuli of a great devotee or devotees. And he asked Narad Muni that why don't you give him the dhuli of your this thing. And Narad said, how can I do that? He said, okay, then you go to gopis of Vrindavan, they will give you. And he went to Vrindavan, and as soon as he said, okay, Krishna is having headache and he needs, the only solution is give me the dust of your lotus feet, of your feet. And they were more than happy to take out all the dust and give it to Narad to go and give it to Krishna. Yes. And then Narad is surprised. Don't you know he is the supreme personality of Godhead? And don't you know you are going to incur a lot of sins by doing that? And he says, then they say, it doesn't matter, I will incur sin, but Krishna will be fine. And that is pure love. When you are ready to suffer yourself for the person you love, that is pure love. Yeah? So that is what the gopis of Vrindavan represents, right? And in that case, when this is there, so what is full consciousness of Krishna? In the 6th chapter, Krishna has also talked about Yo mam pashyanti sarvatra. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pashyami sa cha me pashyati. It means yo mam pasyanti sarvatra. One who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me. Who is seeing me in everywhere and everything is in me, and for them I am never lost and not they are ever lost to me. And there's a very great example of a great devotee called Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was actually we all know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Yeah. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the mantra we read is from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So the guru of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Ishwar Puri. And his guru was Madhavendra Puri. So once what happened, Madhavendra Puri was coming to Vrindavan. And when he came to Vrindavan, he circumambulated the Govardhan hill. He did the parikrama of the Govardhan hill. Then there is Govind Kund. He took bath there. And after taking bath, he sat under a tree and started doing his japa. He started doing his japa. Now, then what happened? After some time, he saw a small boy. He came with a pot of milk to him and said that, why are you fasting and doing such a difficult thing? Why don't please have this milk? So Madhavendra Puri was very surprised that he doesn't know anyone in this village. He said, "How did you know that I am hungry and I am fast? And and who gave you this milk?" He said, "Okay, actually, one of the villagers, when you're taking bath, when the villager lady she saw it, so she gave me this pot to give this to you. So I have come with this pot of milk to you. Why don't you have this milk? And I'll come in later and collect the pot from you." And then the boy went away. And Madhavendra was very thankful because he was very hungry. And then this boy also told that you can also go and beg for food anywhere. That's okay. But Madhavendra Puri was like, he was happy. He drank that much milk and what do you call it? He started again. Is continued with his chanting. The milk was delicious. And then what happened was, after that, when he slept, he saw the same boy in his dream. And that boy came in his dream and said that, do you know, I am actually stuck in near this bush and it's really hurting me and I'm under this place. He took his hand, he took him to that place and showed him to that place and said, "See, I'm stuck here and my, it's very hurting. Why don't you call some villagers and dug me up and take me out from there and put me on the top of Gordon Hill?" And Madhavendra Puri just got up thinking, oh, it was Krishna who had come actually. And then in the morning, he was extremely happy. He went to the village, he talked about his dream, he came with the villagers, he dug that place and he found a idol of Krishna there. And that idol he actually had put over the Govardhan hill called Gopal. And he started praying and worshipping that particular deity. And then what happened? One day again during the summer, this deity again Gopal came in his dream and said, "It is very, very hot. It is very hot. And can you please go to Jagannath Puri and get some sandalwood pulp for me and put on my body? I am feeling very, very hot." And listening to that, it's only you can do that. And listening to that, Madhavendra Puri immediately went started for Jagannath Puri. And now when he was about to reach Jagannath Puri, he saw a temple of Gopinath. When he saw the temple of Gopinath, he went to that temple. He saw that the pujaris, they had decorated the temple very well, and they were, so he started asking the pujaris that how do you actually take care of the deity so that he can also learn and go back and do the same for Gopal, his Gopal, right? So the priest, they were explaining to him that we actually offer him kheer and we feed him with different items different time. And in the meantime, what happened? The pujari actually entered the place with multiple pots of kheer. And when Madhavendra Puri looked at the kheer looked so inviting that his in his mind he thought, if only I can eat it. And then he started cursing himself that even when the bhog has not put, how sinful he is, that he is having the desire to eat the food which has come for Krishna. He just left from there, he went to the marketplace, empty place, and he started really cursing himself and started chanting and doing that. Now here what happened? All the kheer was offered to Krishna and everything happened. Now that night, in the sleep, the Panditji, the priest, got the dream where he's telling to the priest, look, Gopinath came to his dream and said, look, I have hidden a pot of kheer behind the curtain. Why don't you take that kheer and go and give it to this one person called Madhavendra Puri is in the marketplace. Why don't you give it to him? This for him. And listening to that, the priest was like, he was extremely surprised. He went there, he opened the temple and saw that really there was a pot of kheer kept behind the curtain. And then he took that kheer and looked for Madhavendra Puri, gave that one and started, paying businesses to him. And then he was feeling very shy and he was so happy that, Krishna gave me the kheer. He ate the kheer and finally, then he went forward to get the. So
Bhakti means
this is bhakti. This is love for God. This is the attachment. When you serve the God with a one-pointed devotion, Krishna actually comes. Krishna actually comes, right? And this deity of the deity we're talking about of Gopal, which he was actually put on the Govardhan hill. It's not there anymore in Govardhan hill. It is, if you have ever heard of a place called Nathadwar, or if you have heard of a temple called Srinathji, in near Udaipur. If you have heard that, there's a temple called Srinathji in Udaipur near Nathadar. The same deity is actually in that. Srinathji is actually there in that temple of Nathadar. If ever you go, you must visit that. Yeah. Then what happened is, so we talked about progressive stages, and we said that this is the highest stage of bhakti, right? So let's go to the next sentence. Krishna says, Mai eva man adhitsa mai buddhi niveshya nivsishyasi mai eva. Nivsishyasi mai eva means you will live with me. Nivsishyasi means living with me. Mai eva. Mai eva is with me, right? Now, what is the meaning of live with me always? Living with me always is? Yes, it means in my heart or with me, right? Living with me always, like
Always thinking of always.
yeah, we can always. So the thing is, just imagine when we start, when we say attaining Krishna, when we say, when we start our spiritual journey, when we realize that we are not this body, we are this soul. We start our journey. What happens? We want to achieve Krishna. We think that let us worship Krishna, so that in the end, when we leave our body, we actually go and we actually get accepted by Krishna in his Golok Vrindavan. That is what we wish, right? But the thing is, even before that, is like relocation from this world to Golok Vrindavan. Before that, if you change your consciousness, changing your consciousness means if you change your man and buddhi, as has been told in this shlok, if you absorb your man and buddhi only in Krishna, you can actually live with Krishna today. If you can practice bhakti in such a way that your mind and your mind and your intelligence is always fixed in Krishna, then what will happen? Even today you can live with Krishna. It is reorienting our consciousness. Reorienting our consciousness means changing our mind and intelligence to focus only on Krishna, right? And then we talked about how this the process that is followed: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Shmaranam, Pada Sevanam, Arsanam, Vandam, Dhyasam, right? The nine process of devotional service, right? Krishna in the 8th chapter, has also told, it's a similar shlok Krishna has told to Arjun in the 8th chapter. He says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Tasmat means therefore, sarveshu kaleshu. Sarveshu means always. Kaleshu means time, at all the time. Mam anusaram. Mam is mera, mine. Anusaram is remember me. And yuddhacha. So Krishna says, not only that you remember me always, but do your duty. Yuddhacha. Yuddhacha. He's telling Krishna, telling Arjun, not only that you remember me always, but also do your prescribed duty. What is the prescribed duty for Arjun? It is, he's a Kshatriya, it is to protect protect dharma. And that is why he has to do the yudh, right? And then he says, how he can say that? He says, Maya arpit mano buddhir mame vaishasya sanchaya. In 8th chapter, 7th shlok, Krishna says, if you give your man and buddhi to me, then you will always stay me. There is no doubt about that. And this is a similar shlok he's talking about that in the 12th chapter. And in the 5th shlok, again in the 8th chapter, Krishna has talked about Antakale. Antakale is when we are leaving our body. When we are Prayanakale, when we are leaving our body, that is Antakale. Antakale cha mam eva. Antakale, what happens in the end of when we are dying? If someone, mam eva, if only remembering me, mam eva, smarana. Smarana is remember. Chintan. Uktva kaleram. And when he's kaleram is basically body. If someone is leaving their body, think about me alone, yah prati samadbhava. He will come to me. Yanti nasta. Don't doubt about that. And this is only possible in the end, when you are leaving your body. You can only remember Krishna if you have practiced remembering Krishna throughout your life. You cannot suddenly come and think that, last moment you have been enjoying you're enjoying your man and buddhi with all the material desires, and in the last thinking, okay, normally we say, okay, this is not the time for doing bhakti. Only when I grow old, I will do bhakti. If you have not done bhakti in young age, you cannot do in the old age. It's very, very difficult to keep on remembering Krishna. Right? So we have to have a habit from childhood. You have to remember Krishna. That should be a way of life. Then only you can focus your mind and intelligence towards Krishna, and then only in the Antakal you can successfully remember Krishna. And that is why we have to chant. The more we chant, our tongue should always, whether whatever we are doing, our tongue should always be chanting the holy name of Krishna. And then what will happen? We will automatically in the last moment, even if you are not, your tongue will continue to chant and you will go to him. Right? So if you have diverted your mind and buddhi, intelligence toward Krishna always, then in the Antakal also you will remember Krishna and you will go to him. So you will live with Krishna and also you will attain his abode, right? Yeah. Now we go to the next slok. अथ चित्तं समाधातुम्
अथ चित्तं समादातुं
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
अभ्यासयोगेन ततो
अभ्यासयोगेन ततो
मामिच्छाप्तु धनञ्जय
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय
अथ चित्तं समाधातुम्
अथ चित्तं समादातुं
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
अभ्यासयोगेन ततो
अभ्यासयोगेन ततो
मामिच्छाप्तु तुम धनंजय
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अथ चित्तं समादातुं
अथ चित्तं समाधातुम्
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
अभ्यासयोगेन ततो
अभ्यासयोगेन ततो
माम् इच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय
माम इच्छाप्तुम dhananjaya. Now the first is fix your mind and intelligence on you. Now Krishna says, if you cannot do that, if you can, we cannot be like gopis of Vrindavan, we cannot be like Madhavendra Puri and devotees of, we cannot be of that. If you cannot be, then what you should do? That is the lower level, next level. Ath chittam. Chittam is consciousness, your mind and your intelligence. Samadhatu. What do? Samadhatu na shaknoshi. So fix, you're not able to fix. Samadhatu. So fix your what? Na shaknoshi. Nai, shaknoshi is not able to. Mai, on me, sthiram. Sthiram means fixed, without deviation. Abhyas yogin. Then you do practice of devotional service. Then what you have to do? Abhyas yogin. It is not only abhyas. It is not only practice, but it is abhyas yogin. You have to practice the devotional service tato. And when you do that, mam ikchaptu. And how you have to do the practice? By the desire. Iksha is desire. Iksha is desire. O Dhananjay, O Arjun, with a desire to obtain me. When you do a devotional service with a desire to obtain me, what will happen? You will come to me. So if you cannot always think about me, what you have to do? You have to follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. You have to follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. And when you follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, then what will happen? Focused on Krishna, then finally your mind and your intelligence will get purified and it will help you to start thinking of him always. Understood? So let us read the translation. Did you read? Mataji, did you read?
Yeah.
My dear Arjun, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Right? So why is it that we are not able to think always of Krishna?
We get diverted in so many other activities.
Yeah, because our decision is not to get Krishna. Our decision is, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, I want to achieve XYZ, but not Krishna. It is partial, yeah, I also want to achieve Krishna. It is not only Krishna, right? And because of that, because of our desires of achieving so many other things, so our man also have the desires accordingly based on our requirement, whatever we also have, I need to do, I want to take care of my child education, I want to take care of my parents, I have to take care, not that don't do that. It is Krishna doesn't say don't do that. It is your prescribed duty, you have to do that. But the thing is, after all those things, your one point of your decision is Bhagavad Prapti. So that is what should be your decision. That is one focus attention of to Krishna. So what is the regulative principles of, so this then you have to do sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is under the guidance of a guru, follow the regulative principles of bhakti yoga. And what is that? Rise up early in the morning, take bath, go to temple or go to your temple at home, yeah, puja room, and then start chanting. Chanting, when you start chanting, what will happen? Your mind will always run away from Krishna. The more you chant, it will keep on going everywhere but towards Krishna. So what you have to do? You have to chant in such a way, so loudly, so you can hear it from your ears. You should be able to hear it from your ears, and your eyes should be fixed on Krishna. And so in such a way that you should be able to bring back your mind to Krishna. Right? So when you to keep on chanting, each time it's going away, try to bring. That is the process of bring back to Krishna. Yeah, so you should be able to hear your own voice, the chant you're doing, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You should be able to hear it yourself, and you should be able to see him. Right? So your eyes are engaged in Krishna, your ears are engaged in Krishna, and when you close your eyes, you should be able to see Krishna. So your Atma also have, what is it? Has got sukshma senses. It has got, these are our external senses. There are internal eyes also. So when you close your eyes, you should be able to see Krishna with your internal eyes. Yeah, and even when you should be able to hear the sound, even if you're not able to. Yeah, so that is what is state you should be in. Right? So keep on chanting then what is, then you should worship the deity. You should get flowers, decorate the deity, put the light, the lamp, light, sing some prayers to that. Yeah, often then offer bhog, cook for Krishna. Not that your maid has cooked and you have given it to Krishna. That is not service to Krishna.
You cook.
That is not service to Krishna. Someone has come, you don't know what sort of cleanliness that person has. That person comes and cleans and cooks and you go and offer. No. That is not bhakti.
You have
Cook for Krishna and offer the prasad, offer it to Krishna. Because that love, when you're cooking, keep on chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So what will happen? All the pious thing is going in that cooking, and when you offer to Krishna, it becomes prasad. And that prasad, when you offer to your family members, their memory, their man, their buddhi, everything will get purified, because they are eating that prasad which has been cooked so purely, which has been cooked with so purely. And that will also enable the love that the mother has given, that cannot be given by a cook. Right? And that will actually purify the mind of your loved ones. Right? So cook flour. Then hear Bhagavatam. Why it is very, very important to hear Bhagavatam? Because Bhagavatam is about the stories of all great devotees who have seen Krishna. They are great devotees. And what happens? Shravanam. Hearing is the first process of devotional service. How do you get connected to someone? How do you create, how does that emotion comes? How does you get attachment to someone? You only get attachment because when you hear. By Shravanam. So when you read Bhagavatam, and when you hear about from Bhagavatam, what happens? Your desire to achieve Krishna increases. Your connection to Krishna increases, and more the connection increases, your man and buddhi will also started getting more focused towards Krishna, right? And then in the evening do kirtan or do sankirtan, right? And one of the most important thing is sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is be in the association of devotees, because when you are in the association of devotees, your talks will also be of Krishna. Your talks will also be of Krishna. As Krishna has told in the 10th chapter, slok number 8 to 10, he says, whenever my devotees, they meet each other, they always talk about me. They either share some stories about me or some pastimes about me. And what will happen? Because they are always talking about me, so they increases each other's knowledge, and then I, sitting in their heart, illuminate their knowledge so that they can come back to me. Understood? So this is the way, this is the regulative principles to be followed, so that someone can go back to Krishna. So this is, if you cannot fix your mind, then follow this process so that your mind and your intelligence becomes purified enough so that it can actually start focusing only on Krishna. Understood? Now we go to the next slok. Abhyasepya samarthosi
Abhyasepya samarthosi
matkarma paramo bhava
matkarma paramo bhava
madartham api karmani
madartham api karmani
kurvan siddhim avapyasi
kurvan siddhim avapsyasi
abhyasepya samarthosi
abhyasepya samarthosi
matkarma paramo bhava
matkarma paramo bhava
madartham api karmani
madartham api karmani
kurvan siddhim avapsyasi.
kurvan siddhim avapsyasi
Mataji.
abhyasepsai asarmauto
Abhyasepya samarthosi
si matkarma paramo bhava
matkarma paramo bhava
madartham api karmani
madartham api karmani
kurvan siddhim avapsyasi
kurvam siddhim avapsyasi. So Krishna says that now this is the third level. You even cannot do that. You are not able to chant, you are not able to, so you are not able to engage your internal senses, the man and buddhi, which we can't see, the internal senses to Krishna. Then what you need to do? Then abhyasepya asamarthosi. Asamarth means not able to do. If you are not able to do the abhyas, what has been told in the previous slok, even you are not able to do mat karma parmo bhava. Then what you do? Do work for me. Mat karma parmo bhava. Work for me. Okay? Work for me. Madartham api karmani. When you work for me, kurvan siddhim abhavasya. Then also you will attain the perfect stage. Then also you will attain the, it is like, then you will go to the next stage, then you will go to the final stage. Then also you will attain the, so let us read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. If you cannot practice the regulations
if you cannot practice the regulations
of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me.
Then just try to work for me.
Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
You will come to the perfect stage.
Right? So now when you say work for Krishna, now Krishna from internal senses, talking about the external ones, using your hand, using your eyes, using your ears, using your nose, mouth, legs, whatever, the external senses that we have. What you do? Use them for my service. Now there are two types of service that you can do. One is a direct seva to Krishna, and second is a indirect seva to Krishna. What is direct seva to Krishna? Is go and distribute Krishna's book. Go and distribute. So you are actually Krishna's books to others. You are helping people to get the knowledge, right? Preach for Krishna, right? Then celebrate festivals for Krishna. We do Janmashtami, other festivals. So work for Krishna's Kartik Mass. We do so many. So then you do celebrate for Krishna. Do the celebrate festivals for Krishna. Then take out Rath Yatra, other things. Make garlands for Krishna. Clean the temple of Krishna. Go to the temple, do service there. Make garlands for the deity. Clean the temple. Distribute prasadam there. Cook for the devotees who are actually involved in, engaged in serving Krishna. Right? So when you do a cow seva, go and offer food to cow, protect the cows, right? Take care of the cows. So all these services when you're doing, they are direct seva to Krishna. They are direct seva to Krishna. If you cannot do that, if you cannot do direct seva to Krishna, then you do indirect seva to Krishna. What is indirect seva to Krishna? You have to do your swadharma. Swadharma is we have to go to office, we have to work, and we don't have enough time that a full day we can invest in Krishna, right? So when you are working, a percentage of your salary, you donate to the people who are involved in engaged in spreading Krishna consciousness, because they have taken their life, they have dedicated their life to do that. So how you can help them is give a part of the money so that they can actually help to dedicate to spread Krishna consciousness, so that they can actually help people to bring the love of Krishna which is hidden in our heart, which is sleeping in everyone's heart, right? So do that. Understood? That is the indirect service to Krishna, right? Yeah, so that is what, then what you can do with that, you can help in, if you are landlord, give some land to Krishna. When temple is getting built, donate money for building of the temple. When you can, Gurukul is getting established, help in money. When some big festivals are coming, Rath Yatra and other big festivals are happening, donate money to the temple so that can be done in a nice way, because they are not earning, it's your money through which they can actually do it in a better way, right? Whatever you can, if you cannot give money, you have lot of food products, suppose you have rice, whatever, give it that. Do whatever seva you can do for Krishna, do that, direct or indirect, right? So that is what is working for Krishna. Now he says in the 11th stroke, if you cannot do that also, so let's see what. So अथेदप्य शक्तोऽसि
अतेतत् अभ्यसक्तोऽसि
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
अथैतद् अप्यशक्तोऽसि
अतेतत् अभ्यसक्तोऽसि
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
माताजी
अथैतभ्यसक्तोऽसि
अथैदप्यशक्तोऽसि
कर्तुं मध्योगमाश्रितः
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्. Now this is a stage. Athaidapya, let's see. Athaidapya shaktosi. Now, if you are not even able to do work for me, right? Kartum mad yogam ashritam. You are not able to do them. Then what you do? Sarva karma phalatyagam. Sarva karma. Whatever activity you are doing, every karma that you do, there is a result of that. Any activity you are doing, there is a result of that. What you do? Tyag. You do you offer it, give it up. Yeah, no, but if you offer it to Krishna, it becomes stage number 3. So now you offer tatah kuru iratman and gets to become self-situated. Let's read the translation from Srila Prabhupada. If however you are unable to work in this consciousness of me,
you are unable to work in this consciousness of me,
then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated. So Krishna says, now to come into Bhakti Yoga, so we talked about the ladder, right? It is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dharma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is all about Krishna, attached to Krishna, your consciousness, work for Krishna in him. Now, you cannot reach there if your senses are not perfect, if not purified. You cannot come to Bhakti Yoga if your senses are not purified. Now, you have to purify your senses to come to an understanding. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyate. Now, why it is very, very important? Every karma you do, there's a reaction to it. Yeah, reaction to it. And what happens is all the karma, now when you are not in the frame of giving, what are you doing? You are going to use and enjoy yourself. It is all for self. So what is happening? You are actually getting entangled more and more in the cycle of birth and death. You are getting more and more entangled in the cycle of birth and death, because you are having desires, you're going to fulfill that desire, again something will come up, and this is a cycle. And you are actually, the more you are enjoying and doing that, the more you are desiring which away from Krishna, you are getting entangled. So Krishna says, okay, don't give it to me, go and give it somewhere else. So what will happen? You are actually learning to detach yourself from the money that, or the whatever you are dear to. Start detaching from that. So when you start detaching from that, what will happen? Slowly you will start understanding. And when you start understanding, so this is basically Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga. Start giving it up. So you start learning how to detach yourself from enjoying the fruit of activity. That is what Krishna says, that at least do that. And by doing that, your senses will be purified. You will then start into the next level of understanding. Who am I? I am not this body, but I am Atma, soul. And then you'll think, what is the property of soul? Soul is a part and parcel of Krishna. Mama Ivansho, in the 15th chapter, we'll read the shlok which says, Mama Ivansho Jiva Loke Jeev Bhuta Sanatana. That all of us are nothing but a part and parcel of Krishna. We are Anu, we are extremely small, and he is Vibhu. He is infinitesimal big, and we are infinitesimal small, right? That is what we'll understand. When you have that gyan, then you start looking for Brahma, impersonal Brahma. And then when you start, if you want to go further, then you'll start knowing about the Paramatma. And when you still start move forward, then you will come to know about Bhagwan, right? And now we go to, now Krishna also says in the 18th chapter, the 5th shlok of 18th chapter. Now 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is the conclusion of what Krishna has spoken from 1st to 17th chapter. So he says in the 5th chapter, Yagya Dana Tapah Karma. Yagya, Dan and Tap. These three karma, na tyajyam karimeva tat. You should never leave. You should never leave this kam by yagyo danam tapascheva. These three things, yagya, dan and tap, pavanani manishanam. Even for the great souls, it actually makes them, what do you call it? It purifies the great souls. It actually purifies the great souls. And in the next shlok, he says, Etanyapitu karmani. And if you are doing this work, sanga tattva falani cha kartavyaniti me partha nishitam matmutam. All these activities should be performed without attachment. When you are doing yagya tap dan, don't think I'm doing this dan so I will get this in return.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Do it without attachment. And when you are doing that without any expectation of result, they should be performed as a matter of duty. Because Krishna has given us everything. We came here empty-handed. Whatever we have is all his mercy. So give it back. If you cannot give it back to him, give it somewhere. So at least you start detaching yourself. And that is my final opinion. And now we go to the last shlok. 12th shlok. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa.
Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa.
Jnanadhyanam vishishyate.
Jnanadhyanam vishishyate.
Dhyanat karma phala tyagas.
Karma phala tyagas.
Tyagachanti chanti anantaram.
Tyagachantiranantaram.
Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa.
Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa.
Jnanadhyanam vishishyate.
Jnanadhyanam vishishyate.
Dhyanat karma phala tyagas.
Jnanat karma phala tyagas.
Tyagach chantir anantaram.
Tyagachantiranantaram. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa.
Shreyo hi jnana abhyasa.
Dhyanam vishishyate.
Jnanadhyanam vishishyate.
Dhyanat karma phala tyaga.
Dhyanat karma phala tyagas.
Tyagachantir anantaram.
Tyagachantir anantaram. So let's read the Shreyo is better than. He jnana abhyasa. If you are not able to do abhyas, if you are not able to practice, at least do the gyan. Cultivate knowledge about your who you are, right? And then he says jnana dhyanan vishishyate. From gyan, dhyan, meditation is better than that. Dhyanat karma phala tyaga. If you dhyanat and from dhyan, if you are not able to do that, then do karma phala tyagat. Then do karma phala ka, renounce that, give up that one, because by doing that you will achieve shanti anantaram. You will get the inner peace by doing that, by doing tyag, by giving up. What will happen? Whenever you give something to anyone, you feel happy.
Yes.
Always remember the one who is asking, his hand is like that, one who's giving, his hand is like this, always above. And whenever you give, what will happen? You feel happy. Yeah. So by doing that happiness, what happens? You start getting purified. So let us read the translation of this. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is the renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. I'll end today's class. Yeah. So let us chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 3 times and then we'll end the class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all.